From Scheels Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside of my partner Cooper Mattern as we get set for North Dakota High School boys hockey action as the South-Shanley Bruins get ready to take on the Devil's Lake Firebirds. Well, folks, tonight should be a fantastic matchup featuring two teams who are neck and neck in the standings. And Cooper, you know as well as me, as we get into the later stages of the season, these big games for conference standings just become even bigger and bigger, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, when you do have big games like these, I feel like the experience can really play a key factor. For Devil's Lake, they're led by 10 total seniors and juniors, led by number 4, Tommy Reslock, with 20 total points this season. But for some teams, that may not be the case, like Fargo South. Their top 2 scorers are a freshman in Ben Strinden and a sophomore in Drew Sandy. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep up with the depth and the experience of Devil's Lake. Yeah,
very strong point there. Like you said, big games, that experience can really pay off. You know, guys don't get the same kind of nerves those younger guys get. They've been there before. But at the same time, you know, the formula has been working well for both teams. The youth for South-Shanley has, done well for them. And obviously the experience for Devil's Lake has been strong as well. So a bit of a clash of two teams with similar records but different styles of play in different situations overall. Like you said, South-Shanley, really led by that youth. Ben Strinden, team leader in points with 18. He has just had a fantastic freshman year. He's really just been an electric player for him, don't you think?
Yeah, that's for sure. 18 points this season, like you said, but I think it also goes back to that experience thing. Their captains, I feel like John Harvey, Tanner Beaton, and Robbie Greatzer he's really fed off them, and they've been good leaders for Ben.
No doubt about it. And one of those seniors to mention right here is Ben Trainer, one of the team leaders in points. He's got 12 points on the year, but interestingly enough, no goals, 0 goals, 12 assists. Cooper, you play hockey, you kind of know what it's like when you get into little slumps like that. It can be tough on you to have that monkey on your back. Obviously he's been a good player for him with 12 points, but to still not have a goal, that can sometimes weigh on you, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I feel like coaches, they don't really notice that as much, though. Like, coaches will think that assists, are a lot better, are the same as, or maybe even better than goals, and Ben Trainer is able to add that to the table, which can lead to goals for the leading scorers like Ben Strinden and Drew Sandy.
Absolutely. Assists and goals, like you said, they're the same thing. They mean you're getting points on the board. So it doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter what the makeup of your points is. It just matters that you got a lot of points, and Ben Trainer's doing that with those 12 assists. Just a real playmaker for him, real facilitator out there. Now the goaltending situation for South-Shanley is one to take a look at. Devil's Lake, it's been pretty much locked up. Reagan Ruley, 909 save percentage. He's played pretty much the entire year, every game, been really strong. South-Shanley, though, been back and forth between Zach Sandy and Brody Herrick. They're going with Brody Herrick in net tonight for a big game. Cooper, your thoughts on this goalie situation going forward? Do you think Herrick is maybe identifying himself as the starter moving forward, being a junior after all?
Yeah, just like we see with Devil's Lake, I think when it comes to these big games, experience does kick in. Like Herrick, he's been in these games. He'll be able to keep South on their toes and hopefully get a win for them.
Absolutely. So, folks, we are now going to take a brief break for the national anthem. We'll send things down to the PA announcer, but don't go anywhere. Going to be a great game coming up after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. High school hockey action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, Ed's Marine and Storage, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Kochman Brothers Homes, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Scheels, and TCI Insurance.
Welcome back once again to this presentation of North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas, joined by Cooper Mattern, as we are just seconds away from dropping the puck here on this game between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Devils Lake Firebirds. Cooper, like I said, just seconds away from getting this one underway. Your final thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I like the call by Coach French here with their top line, who's really been leading them this game. The seniors, Harvey, Trainer, and Greatzer, hopefully they can get a good step forward to start this game.
Absolutely. Try and send a message early here with that strong veteran line. We'll see what they can do as we are underway with the Firebirds chipping this one back deep into the Bruins zone. A little scrum for the puck behind Brody Herrick. Bruins trying to get this one out of trouble, and they will do so as it's picked up by Hansen and sent forward to Greatzer. Robbie Greatzer going to play it off the boards. Harvey gets a step on the defenseman and chases in after it. Now pinned down by Schwab. Greatzer picks the puck up, throws it out top to Zazada. His point shot is blocked, and he'll have to go back and retrieve as Lovin is shaken up a bit after blocking that one, and he is really shaken up. The captain hobbling to the bench right now. Change here for both teams. Quick rush for this second line for South-Shanley, but the Firebirds take it away and come right back down the ice. Martinson moving up the near boards, loses that one. Hansen trying to pick it up for South-Shanley, but Johnson got there first to box him out. Loose puck out in front. Strindon chipped it over to Lance, and now here comes Noah Lance up the far boards. He absorbs a big hit. Strindon chases the puck down, trying to center for Noah Johnson, but that won't go. Firebirds looking to take it away and get the clear. On the near side, Strindon had it for a minute, lost it. Schwab plays it with the backhand. Morehart's got it up top now. He'll flip it in, and it's gloved down to the ice and brought forward by Schwab.
Good little battle down there in the corner by number 29 for South Bend Strindon and number 8 for Devils Lake, Carter Schwab. Both freshmen getting in the nitty-gritty of things and hopefully making a good statement for this game.
So now we got our first stop in play here, as it appears we'll have a face-off back in the South-Shanley zone. No shots for either team so far. Drop of the puck, and that one is won back by South-Shanley. Only briefly, though, picked up there by Sanker. Tried to center it, but no one home. Tanner Beaton now will pick this one up. Beaton moving up the near side. He'll chip it down into the Firebird zone. Bryant chases after it, but he gets boxed out, and then it's taken away by Schwab. Up the far side, Wyatt Hansen will toss it down. Ruley plays it behind his own net, leaving it there that time for Rode. Now the Firebirds will break out as Sanker has some speed up the far side. Sanker moving in. Tried to feed a man out in front. It went off the skate of a South-Shanley defender, and now this one's sent forward by Sandy. Beaton's got some space now, moving in on the far side. Beaton fired one far pad, and no Bruins could get to the rebound.
Good low shot there by Beaton, far low pad. If he has forwards crashing like Sandy and Bryant, that's a goal.
Absolutely, that's what you're taught to do, and there you see, like you talked about, the senior leadership, the veteran experience. Beaton just doing what you're supposed to in that situation. Pass cut that time by Harvey. Not a lot of options, though, so he just dumps it back in. Firebirds will look to move it as that one is just dumped down into the South-Shanley zone by Bushy.
One thing that I've already seen an improvement from the last previous games is the breakout by Fargo South. They've really improved on that from the games against Grand Forks and Cheyenne. I feel like that will be a key factor if they can keep that up and get some good rushes.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that's been an area they've worked very hard on in practice. Something they've struggled with all year is that point shot is saved by Ruley. And like you said, Cooper, it's good to see them making some adjustments and fixing that breakout up. So first shot of the game recorded by Seb Zazada there. He blasted one from the blue line. Ruley did a nice job staying on top of it. Now an offensive zone faceoff for the Bruins is one back to Moorhart. His shot was caught in traffic, never made its way to the goaltender.
Devils Lake forwards are really doing a good job getting up to the point and blocking the shots against Fargo South right here.
It's coming at a price, though, as we have not seen Lovin back on the ice for the Firebirds after he went off with an injury blocking a shot. Herrick comes out to play this puck. Turns out to be the right call. Just as I was saying that, we do have Lovin back on the ice, and that's a great sight for the Firebirds. Like I said, the captain, a leader of this team, one of their leading scorers. Definitely a presence you want out there. Dean plays that one off the boards, intended for Strinden. He couldn't catch up to it, though, and now it's sent back into the South-Shanley zone, but only briefly as Moorhart was able to play it forward. Noah Johnson charging forward now with it. He loses control. Picked up on the near side by Peterson. That shot directed back in by Zazada, and now it'll be retrieved by Schwab in the corner.
Good forecheck to start the game here for Fargo South. They're really putting on that pressure against Devils Lake to start the game.
Absolutely. Puck has spent a lot more time in the Firebird zone, although to the credit of Devils Lake, they've only allowed one shot still. Some nice moves there by Reslock, the leading scorer, but not much will come of it as he just throws one on Herrick for the easy save. 12:34 left to go in this first period. Again, South-Shanley with most of the pressure so far. Hasn't been too lopsided, though. Just a little more zone time for the Bruins. Firebirds going to look to respond to that, though, here. See if they can possess in the South-Shanley zone. Good start so far as that puck is knocked down by Hill out top. Able to hold the zone there for the Firebirds. Maybe set something up. Martinson in a bit of trouble trying to find a man to give it off to. Beaton intercepted, though, and got it back to Hansen, who will play it right back to Beaton. Beaton elevates the pass intended for Sandy. Couldn't hook up with him, though. Here come the Firebirds back the other way. Martinson has that one knocked off his stick. Beaton moving forward with it now, and Bryant will give chase. But we got a whistle. And
late call at Devils Lake, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
It's like Martinson going to the box here.
Does appear to be the case, like you said. Martinson hanging out by the box. And there he goes. So
Tripping, I think, was the call.
A nice opportunity here for South-Shanley early on. The power play is the strength of this team. It's been lights out all year long. We'll see what they can do. Bruins, when they can jump out to an early lead, have been pretty good at defending that.
Yeah, that's for sure. We've seen in this throughout the whole season as we're nearing the end of the season. Their power play has really been a key factor, like you've said, Jed. If they can generate some low shots to the points, get some bodies in front of the net, they can score some good rebounds and get some goals.
Well, the quarterback of this power play is the man with the puck right now, Ben Strinden. Just fired that point shot wide. Strinden, everything runs through him as he is back in that defensive role. Caught off guard a bit. Here comes Reslock, centers to Peterson. Peterson goes backhand, can't connect. Oh, great A opportunity, won't go. And then the rebound is blocked out in front, but here's Reslock all alone, and he buries it. Oh, man.
I think part of that was Reslock being pretty much unguarded right in front of the net, and the forwards not getting back for Fargo South on the back check.
Yeah, look at this. Tommy Reslock, like you said, all alone. And, I mean, the leading scorer for the Firebirds all alone out in front. Got a ton of moves there. You're just not going to stop that one if you're Brody Herrick. Very tough to stop Tommy Reslock with all that space. And boy, does that hurt for South-Shanley. We were just talking about how strong their power play is, how important getting that early lead is. And all of a sudden, the script totally flipped on them as the Firebirds lead at 1-0 now with that shorthanded goal.
Yeah, it just goes to show how a few lucky bounces to either side, either team can generate a goal for whichever team gets the bounce. And
as that happened, I was talking about Ben Strinden. Like I said, the power play runs through him. He plays that defensive role, commands the power play from the blue line. The problem, though, is he is a forward back there playing defense along with Drew Sandy, another forward playing defense. So you got 5 forwards out there. Power play obviously very offensive-minded. sometimes you can get caught off guard a little bit, not thinking about defending your own end, and I think we really saw that happen to South-Shanley on that power play. You noticed Reslock was all alone out in front. Well, typically your defensemen are going to be back there guarding the front of your net, so everybody kind of playing more that forward role, kind of forget to guard their own net that time. So an unfortunate break for the Bruins.
Yeah, and I think like you were saying, Jed, when they have Strinden and Sandy back there, they already got their so-called speed guys back there, and if they're already in the corner battling, they have the big burly defenseman trying to get Reslock out in front of the net. Well, if they're already out of position, it'll be even harder for them to get back and cover him.
Right. So now 30 seconds left on this power play for South-Shanley. 10:23 left to go in the period. Bruins trying to salvage something out of this. Zazada with a shot from the point that got redirected in front. Almost took a nice bounce for the Bruins. Instead, it's going to come all the way back to Herrick.
They got to be quick here if they want to have one more rush on this power play.
Going to be tough, just 5 seconds left. Greatzer carrying up the near side, throws the body a bit, but then that pass is intercepted and sent right back in by Schwab. Firebirds at full strength with a outstanding penalty kill. And they'll look to add to their lead now, putting some pressure on in the South-Shanley zone. Peterson lost it on the far side. Trainer tried to give it over to Zazada. Miscommunication. And Hansen had to come in to try and pick that one up. And oh man! Once again, out in front, South-Shanley not guarding their own net. And Lovin, too easy for him, buries it.
Yeah, I think we saw this goal too with the forwards or the defense. Robbie Greatzer, you can see up on the point, kind of out of position, coming back against Lovin. He should be the guy covering him so he can stop the chance for that goal.
And how about the dish there from Peterson? I think that was a no-looker, I think, from the corner. Just an excellent pass that time from Peterson, hooking up with Lovin, two of the leading scorers for this Firebirds team. And boy, South-Shanley in a world of hurt right now, down 2-0 in a situation where they thought they might have the lead off that power play.
Yeah, and they always say, not to make those so-called wish passes out in front of the net because it could generate an opportunity for the other team. But Devils Lake with good play in the slot right there, good shot, generated a goal.
Firebirds looking to continue to pressure, but that pass is intercepted by Strinden. Strinden got in there, tried to get a piece of the pass, ended up deflecting into the face of a referee. Looks to be okay, though, as Martinson was working out in front. Had an opportunity there with the backhand that didn't connect, and now this puck is going to come all the way back deep into the Firebird zone. Icing waved off.
I don't know about you, Jeb, but sure a change of momentum with those 2 goals. South was really pouring on the pressure in the first couple minutes, but once that first goal hit, they just fell apart.
Oh, without a doubt, and especially when you add in the fact that first goal was a shorty, that really hurts. Really is kind of a pride thing as a team. You never want to give up a shorthanded goal, and so that really can take the life out of you.
Yeah, especially with the strength of the Fargo South-Shanley's power play.
A huge opportunity slipped through the pads of Herrick, somehow did not go in, though. And right now, the Firebirds are just laying it on as that shot is easily redirected by Rulli. South-Shanley is on their heels right now. They've got to do something to get a bit more life into them, get just a bit more settled down because they're a little too jumpy right now.
Yeah, as we know, Devils Lake, they're known for only running 2 lines, and as we see, South is matching that, only running 2 lines as well. Maybe they'll try to get a few new guys out there and see if they can make a few plays. Beauty
of a pass that time from Jake Bryan, able to hook up with Beaton, but Beaton had nowhere to go. 3 Firebirds on him in the offensive zone, just had to leave it there for another Bruin to pick up. Trainer with the backhand, trying to get it over to Greatzer. Bushy got there first, though, for the Firebirds. Puck loose out in front, and Rulli will dive onto it with 7:38 left in the period. Shots are just 3-2 right now in favor of the Firebirds, but how about that? Devils Lake, 2 goals on 3 shots. That is not a stat you want to see if you're South-Shanley. You can't really blame Herrick, though, at least for that first one, I don't think.
Yeah, that's for sure. Their defense has to do a better job getting back in position, because if the defense do get back in position, they can have good breakouts and generate some good opportunities.
He does maybe want that second goal back, though. Obviously Lovin was left alone out in front. It was a great shot. Really quick shot. I don't think Herrick was expecting so soon, but he was a good deal away. Herrick probably wishing he was in better position that time, but still, like you said, it does need to get some better help out in front. So offensive zone draw here for South-Shanley. Big opportunity to try and get some offense going. Unable to win that one was Trainer, though, and so the Firebirds look to break it out. Puck exits the zone. Reslock tried to knock it forward. He couldn't. But now this one will be advanced by Schwab up the far side. Had it knocked back. Reslock tosses it in now, and Morehart will retrieve. Derek Morehart setting up behind his own net. Played it off the boards, intended for Greatzer. Firebirds got their first opportunity, but now we got a delayed penalty. Ooh! And we might have another one coming off that hit. Let's see. I think there was a delayed penalty against South-Shanley, but then there was a big hit into the boards late on Derek Morehart, and we still got some guys down in the corner.
Looks like Reslock and Morehart just were the ones who got up there.
And you saw Morehart give a little shove to Reslock when they get up. And so I think they might actually take both of them now. Because the initial penalty was on Morehart, and then Reslock retaliated there with the hit into the boards. And so I think we're going to have minors against both teams here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the call is. We've got the two captains standing up there. We'll see what the refs have to have in mind for this call.
And you do have to watch this game going forward now. It's going to be a tough job for the refs. Going to have to try to keep this one from, getting a little chippy out there, because you can see Morehart and Reslock really were going at it there, still doing a little jawing in the benches when they went in. We'll see what comes of this, and like I said, going forward, we'll see what the refs do to try and contain this one. Yeah,
and when a team, not just Fargo South-Shanley, but when a team does fall behind, maybe something that they would do is get a little chippy, and if South wants to score 2 goals quick, they gotta stay out of the penalty box, maybe get on the power play a few times, and hopefully get a few 5-on-5 goals as well.
Absolutely. And, to a degree, you can see what Morehart was trying to do there. They had left their own net so undefended. On those 2 goals, he was trying to throw the body out in front, trying to, get Reslock out of there. But he got a little too physical there. Reslock didn't have the puck. Morehart laid a hit on him, and now Morehart and Reslock were jawing in the bench, and I think the ref just gave Morehart a talking to.
Looks like they're going to make an extra call against Morehart, maybe.
Actually, we've got 5 up right now against. We've got 5-minute major on Devil's Lake, and then a 4-minute going against South-Shanley. So I think Morehart got a 2 initially for the hit on Reslock. He picked up another 2 for the extracurriculars, yeah. And then Reslock picked up the 5 for the hit from behind, I think is the call in that corner. So, boy, what a mess to sort out, but we do have it. So it's going to be 4-on-4 for 4 minutes, and then South-Shanley will have the man advantage for 1 minute. Shot from the point there from Schwab goes off the skate of Zazada and into the netting for a quick whistle here, just 10 seconds into the 4-on-4.
Although it is 4-on-4, with Devils Lake having their key player, their leading scorer out, it'll be interesting to see if South can get a few opportunities without that speed and that physicality and that leadership out there from Reslock.
Yeah, Cooper, I was just about to bring that up. That's pretty big. Like you said, Tommy Reslock, leading scorer, very fast player, kind of the type of guy who excels in this 4-on-4 play. He's not going to be out there for any of it, so that really does hurt. Also, that 1 minute where they're down a man, he's one of their top penalty killers. So, if you're going to send anyone to the box, you really don't want it to be Reslock. Zazada has the puck on the near boards, thrown off at that time by Lovin, but it was picked up by Lance. Noah Lance on top of this one. He gets put down by Lovin, but Strinden came in to pick it up. Ben Strinden on the far side, pass intended for Sandy, cut by Lovin, but Zazada gets there first. Now Sandy's got an opportunity, chasing after it. Nice work that time by Rode, beating Sandy to it, getting it out of trouble.
We saw early in the game Lovin with that block up at the point and then the intercept there right in middle ice. He's really playing a good defensive-minded game to start, which generated for an offensive goal.
Strinden caused problems behind the net, gave South-Shanley an opportunity, but Zazada with the point shot, and that's it for that opportunity as the puck comes out of the zone, and here come the Firebirds. Peterson threw one on Herrick, easy save, but now it's loose right alongside Herrick, and now we got a little pushing and shoving out in front.
Still looks like Devils Lake and South are both running the 2 lines to start. They haven't really made any changes yet.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit more depth, I think, from South-Shanley. We've seen that 3rd line with Beaton and Bryan out there a bit more. So we'll see that depth could prove to be really vital as this game goes on. You know, when you roll 2 lines like that as Devil's Lake, it can be very tough to keep your stamina up.
And I think part of that might just been at the slow start from the top 2 lines. Maybe, like you said, get some more depth in there with that 3rd line.
2:32 left in this 4-on-4. 5:34 left in the first period. Dean going to pick that puck up off the face-off, but then he had it poked away by Martinson. Martinson and Bryant go at it. Bryant able to knock that puck away, and then it's picked up by Beaton. The captain moving up the near boards. Nice little stop and start to get it off over to Bryant. Bryant had a shot blocked, though, and it's coming back the other way. Hill over to Martinson. Back to Hill, but it's taken away again by Beaton, and he'll move it forward. Tried to dangle a man that time, but couldn't get past him. Now we got a collision at mid-ice. A man went down. It was Hill.
South-Shanley, 2 minutes interference.
And I think Devil's Lake, without their key player out there, that brings a lot of fatigue. Maybe brings a lot of fatigue to their team. And when South has that 1 minute on that power play, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to generate some opportunities.
So, minute 51 left now in this 4-on-4. 4-on-4 play has been pretty even so far. Neither team has really done too much with it. Face-off won by Peterson, but Greatzer gets to it. Now here comes Greatzer with a head of steam. Nice little burst, but Schwab got in there to throw him into the boards. Trainer on top of the puck, back behind Ruley. Now he'll play it off the boards over to Zazada. Great shot out in front. Greatzer got a stick on it, but the redirect wouldn't happen for him as Lance now fires one from the point that never made it to the netminder. Greatzer able to get it over to Trainer. Trainer going to go out top to Lance. Lance again from the point. Won't go. Rebound opportunity. No, Greatzer couldn't elevate it. Not a lot of space to work with. Tried to get it up in the air with the backhand, and Ruley got over there. Saved it with the low pad.
And I think those might have to be the goals that those experienced players like Greatzer are going to have to capitalize on if they want to cut down on this 2-goal deficit.
Well, and that is the way Robbie Greatzer really likes to score, you know, out in front, using that big body of his. Big guy, 6'2", about 200 pounds, gets in there and plays physical out in front. Those greasy goals are the ones that he often gets. Beaton was able to get it around the defender, but ran out of space. Now he's got it in the near corner, trying to play it over to Dean off the boards. Dean going to go back to Beaton. Beaton, quick shot goes wide. Hansen over there to collect.
What I like South early on, they've utilized their defensive points a lot, and which have generated some shots. And obviously we saw some opportunities there with Greatzer and Beaton down low.
Now South-Shanley got 3 forwards and 1 defenseman out there, taking a bit more of an offensive approach as they're going to be on the power play in just a couple seconds. Puck loose along the near boards. Schwab picked it up. He'll play it over to Hill. Hill fires a point shot. Easy save for Herrick. And there'll be just 6 seconds of 4-on-4 left to go. Then the Bruins will be up a man.
Looks like the line with Sandy, Strindon, and Trainer to start this 1 minute power play for them, see if they can get some opportunities, get some good rushes before it expires.
They are going to go, Cooper, with 4 forwards out there right now, and we'll see if they send a 5th over the boards when Morehart comes out, or maybe they'll just let Morehart play the power play. We'll see what happens as Harvey brings this one in and throws it over to Sandy on the far side. Sandy now.
Looks like Greatzer going out there for Morehart.
Dumps it in, and yeah, so it will be another 5-forward look on this short power play. Trainer out top to Strindon, now over to Sandy. Sandy curls around. Nice defense played that time by Sanker, so Sandy had to dump it off into the corner. 37 seconds left on the power play. Strindon makes a little space for himself. Fires one from the point. That doesn't make it there. Schwab blocked it with the skate. Rode in the corner with 2 Bruins on top of him. Staying with it. It's picked up, though, by Harvey. Harvey over to Strindon. Strindon moving in, fires one. Again, it doesn't make it to the goal. Strindon out top. Goes to Sandy, who goes right back to Strindon. Time ticking down. Shot from the point once again blocked in front. Devil's Lake, excellent net front presence right now. Making some traffic for South-Shanley as that shot is gloved by Ruley.
Yeah, you got 2 big bodies in there, John Harvey and Robbie Greatzer. Like you said earlier, Robbie Greatzer wasn't really able to sustain some pressure and be able to screen Rule in front of the net.
So we're back to 5-on-5 now after that. It was a good power play for South-Shanley, all things considered, for just a minute of the man advantage. The problem with the way South-Shanley plays up a man is that they take a pretty long time to set up, so when you've just got a minute like that, you can't do a ton the way they play. Right about the time you're getting settled in, it expires, so that's unfortunate for them. But good for Devils Lake. So not much comes of that whole mess of penalties there. Both teams look pretty even on the 4-on-4. South-Shanley couldn't capitalize with their brief power play. And so we are finally back to even strength with just 1:30 now left to play in the first period.
Looks like a little mix-up of lines here. Looks like Brian Beaton and Noah Johnson out there on the right wing side. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to step up with one of these top two lines.
Yeah, Bruins coaching staff changing things up a bit. We'll see what comes of it. Well, that'll be an icing to start things off there for the Bruins. 1:11 left to be played in this first period. Taking a little while. There's been a decent amount of stops, which is somewhat surprising considering only 6 shots for the Firebirds and 5 for South-Shanley. Shot from the point was blocked that time by Lance, who took a hit there from Hill at the end of the play. Now just a minute remaining here as South-Shanley will try to get it out of their zone and maybe get something going down in the Devils Lake zone. Lance chips it forward. Strinden chases it down. Strinden got the step that time on Schwab. Ran out of space, though, and Ruley knocked it away with the stick. On the far side, White tried to play it forward. He couldn't. Sanker is there, though. Now here comes Sanker. Played that one forward, intended for Nolan Bushy, but it was just out of reach. Now Morehart back there. Didn't win the battle. Shot from the point from Hill. Oh, man! What a blast from Jeremiah Hill. Like you said, Cooper, absolute laser.
Yeah, it didn't matter what Brody Herrick's wingspan was there. He was not going to be able to reach that one with his blocker.
Well, it's a great feed from Bushy way out top to Hill, and Hill has got a nice open path to the net. Herrick, just was not quite in position that time. He was a little overcommitted to the other side, and by the time he got over there, that blast from Hill was already in the back of the net. By the time he got over there, Hill was already celebrating. That was just a cannon. So 3-0, that is not the way you want to end the period if you're South-Shanley. Right before that happened, I was talking, the Bruins likely looking for one last rush before the end of the period, try to cut the lead, and that is not what happened. They're now down 3-0.
Yeah, three bounces that went Devils Lake way, and they're able to generate. They only have 7 shots, but 7 shots can also lead to some goals, and 3 goals like we've seen in this period.
Yeah, Firebirds being very opportunistic. They do not need much to get that puck in the back of the net. And so, after one period of play, it is 3-0 in favor of Devils Lake. Cooper, before this game started, I think everyone was expecting a pretty close matchup, 2 pretty evenly matched teams, and 3-0 after one. Definitely not what I think anyone was expecting, except maybe Devils Lake.
Yeah, when it is evenly matched like this, you look for some good. You look for the things that don't usually stick out, like goals, assists. You look for the defensive-minded hockey, which Devils Lake has really done a good job getting bodies in front of the net, clearing out the crease, which I think Fargo South needs to work on. I mean, Hill's goal that was from the point, but the other 2 were right in the slot. And I think if they can clear those bodies out, they can generate some rushes and maybe generate some goals.
All right, so we will step away briefly here for this period break, but when we return, we're going to have the second period for you. So don't go anywhere, folks. It's going to be a fun night of hockey. Still a lot to go in just a few minutes. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Cooper Mattern as we're getting set for the second period of play between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Devils Lake Firebirds. But, folks, before we get to this second period of play, we want to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so, folks, we are just about ready to start this second period, and Cooper, what a first period we had on our hands. 3-0 lead for Devils Lake after that first. I don't think anyone was expecting that, really.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like we said before, that experience really shows dividend in these big games, and then those younger kids can really feed off that experience. The first 2 goals were scored by seniors, and then the third goal was scored by a freshman for Devils Lake, so you can really see how he was able to gain that momentum and get a goal himself.
And boy, Jeremiah Hill, he has not looked like a freshman out there. I mean, just the way he's handled himself, even before he had the goal. But boy, that goal, that's a shot a lot of seniors can't even pull off. The way he elevated that and the kind of velocity that was on that kid has got a very bright future ahead of him with this Devils Lake program. As the Firebirds come out swinging right away to start things off, South-Shanley all got to be careful, almost got the tripping out in front of their own net there. But now the Bruins are going to look to get a breakout here, take the pressure off. Harvey flips it forward, doesn't make it out of the zone. It's kept in by Schwab. He's making some good moves on the far boards. Able to find a man. Reslock was there. Reslock tosses it out now, and then that shot is blocked off the skate of Harvey and comes way out of the zone. Puck carried now on the near side by Rode. Rode goes cross ice, could not connect though with Lovin. Pass too far for Lovin, picked up by Zazada and given over to Hansen now. Hansen up the near boards was looking for Strinden, but pass was cut and it's thrown right back into the Bruin zone.
As South starts getting these breakouts going, it'll be interesting to see if Devils Lake can keep that defensive mindset that they had, because obviously that defensive mindset generated into 3 goals.
Opportunity here for the Bruins as Beaton had it back behind the Devils Lake net, still with it, able to find a man. Sandy fires a bad angle shot, Beaton back on top of it. Not enough time for the wraparound, so he goes over to Sandy, who centered to Strinden out in front. Strinden's shot would not connect. Morehart with it at the point, fires one out in front. Strinden could not quite get a hold of it. He lost his footing. Tough break, good opportunity there for the Bruins. They'll try to get back into the zone, but to no avail. The Firebirds come flying back.
Yeah, Reagan Ruley there showed some good positioning on two good saves in a row, and then allowed for a clear for Devils Lake.
So Beaton has it now in the neutral zone, flipping it forward for Lance. Firebirds on top of it though, and now it's sent again back into the South-Shanley zone. Lance tried to poke it forward there and spring Beaton. He was stymied though by Hill. The last man to score a goal here, Hill with a nice centering feed. A little too far out in front though for Bushy. Hill able to get back on top of that puck, beat Lance in the race for it, and then plays it forward off the boards, picked up by White and sent over to Bushy. Bushy moving forward with it. Gets it over to White. White on the near side, fires one. That's sent up into the netting by Brody Herrick.
Good speed here shown by Devils Lake. Obviously, Jeremiah Hill, he's always been a fast player, and then number 4, Tommy Reslock, showing some good speed out there as well.
Absolutely. Devils Lake just really flying out there. They've got good speed. That's been evident from the get-go. We will have a stop in play, or not a stop in play, a delay here in getting back to it, as that clock stayed running for, I think, the entire time play was stopped. So they're going to have to reset this clock. Add about 20 or so seconds back to it, I would imagine. So some time added, and now we're ready to go. Face-off back in the Bruins zone. One forward there by the Firebirds. Bushy on it. Fires one on Herrick. Save made, but rebound left out there. Bushy puts it on net once again, and Herrick there to make the save. Brody Herrick struggled early, let 3 goals in on 8 shots, but now he's just made a couple of nice saves here. One thing Herrick has struggled with for most of the season has been rebound control. Same problem has persisted for Zach Sandy, too. It's been something South-Shanley's goaltenders have really needed to work on. They've let in some goals off those rebounds, and definitely something Brody Herrick will try to iron out. It's gotten better as the season has gone on, that's for sure, but you saw there he left a couple of rebounds he probably didn't want to.
Yeah, and adding on to that, like we saw in the first period, Fargo South-Shanley's defensive positioning was not as what they wanted it to be, which generated those first 2 goals. And I feel like if they can get those defensive bodies like Greatzer and Harvey, all those big guys in front of the net, even if Herrick does give up a rebound, they'll be there to clear the puck. For
sure. Again, it comes down to that net front presence, like you're saying. White advancing this one now for the Firebirds. Charging forward, puck knocked off his stick, but it was picked up right away by Sanker. Devils Lake continuing to pressure here. Loving.
Excuse me, Jed, but it feels like whenever South does get a rush, Devils Lake comes right back and gets a few shots themselves.
Yeah, absolutely, Cooper. I mean, that's really been the story of this second period. The Bruins have had a couple possessions down in the Firebird zone, but Devils Lake just comes right back. They're able to enter the zone, really, it seems, at will. South-Shanley not doing a great job contesting them before, they get past that blue line and are able to set up. Peterson and Sandy on this face-off. It's Peterson who wins it back to Hill. His shot deflected wide of the net. Morehart and Peterson tied up, chasing that puck down. Puck pinned along the boards there, not moving. And it is just locked up right there. Got 2 Bruins, 2 Firebirds poking at it, still not going anywhere.
Got to be a whistle soon.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. All right, evidently not. That puck finds its way out eventually and pops up out of play. So 12:42 left to play here in the second period. Shots have really started to go the way of Devils Lake, 15-7 now. And I think that just shows the way Devils Lake has started the second period. They've just had the jump on South-Shanley. They've had a bit more spring in their step, and they've kept the puck down in the Bruins zone most of this period.
Yeah, that's for sure, Jed. When you look at the team that's leading in shots, you usually look at the little things. Like we've already mentioned, defensive hockey. That's been a key for them this game. Allowed for some three really good goals.
Beauty of a no-looker there by Ben Strinden. Just left that puck perfectly in the crease. Bruins unable to finish, though, off that excellent feed. Boy, Ben Strinden is something to watch. Puck now loose on the far boards. Lovin picked it up and threw it along. Popped up, but not out of play. Here come the Firebirds now. Peterson moving in with it. Curled around Hansen, and he took Herrick down. Yikes. I think Herrick lost his helmet there, and yes, he did. He took a pretty big hit there from Peterson, who I believe will be headed to the box for goalie interference. See there, he uses the speed to curl around Hansen and just forgets how to stop as he was accelerating. Herrick took a shot, but appears to be okay. This is big for South-Shanley now. We talked earlier about how potent their power play has been all season long, and then, they gave up that shorthanded goal. They had another crack at the power play, and I see we have a 6-minute power play up on the scoreboard. I do not think that is correct, because I've never seen a 6-minute power play in my life. We'll see what that becomes. 6-minute power play still up there. And I will admit, I am not a hockey guru, but
I don't think that's right.
I don't think that is right. I could be wrong, but I really don't think it's right. All right, there we go. 2 minutes. I was going to say, Cooper, I really started to doubt everything I knew about hockey for a minute there. But we got the 2 minutes up. Like I was saying, this is going to be a big power play for South-Shanley. Obviously, their first one not successful with the shorthanded goal. They got another crack at it, but only for a minute off of that whole 4-on-4 debacle. So this is really, really only their second true power play opportunity Let's see what they can do as Harvey had a great look out in front, but it was an even better save by Ruley.
Yeah, the strength for Fargo South is definitely their power play. But if they want to get opportunities on this power play, they're gonna have to be smart, not get chippy, and get solid shots from the point from Sandy and Strindon, and then have their forwards crash in that Harvey, Trainer, and Greatser, like the big bodies, like we've talked about.
And you still got to keep in mind, you know, you gave up that shorthanded goal earlier, so you just have to be aware that you do need to play defense sometimes when you're on the power play. So just got to be aware of where you are out on the ice. Make sure you're not creeping too far forward when you're one of those forwards playing the defensive position. So clear here as Strindon will chase it down. Got a minute 20 left to go on this power play. Strindon giving off to Greatser, and now here comes Robbie Greatser with a head of steam. Greatser moving along the boards. Maneuvers that puck over to Trainer, and then that pass is cut. Strindon trying to hook up with Sandy. Martinson lost an edge. He had a step there, might have been able to get in alone, but instead it's numbers for the Bruins. Headed back the other way. Harvey whiffed on it, though. Now it's loose at the blue line. Nice recovery there for John Harvey, able to poke it forward.
I really like Devils like power play starting off here. Obviously the first two kills they had were really good. One only for a minute, but the other one a real penalty, and then this one a real penalty also. They forced a point, forced a pass down low or to the other defenseman, and then obviously we saw that rush there that almost resulted in a breakaway.
And a nice glove save there by Ruley at the end of it, too. He has not been tested too much, 10 shots on goal, but he's looked pretty strong when he has faced some shots here from South-Shanley. So still a good deal of time left, a little over 40 seconds on this power play. Beaton possessing on the far side. Nice job getting it over to Zazada. Zazada now to Trainer. Trainer down low to Strindon. Strindon working out in front. Sandy had a look, but could not get the stick on it. It was cleared out of the zone. So 20 seconds left. South-Shanley going to try to make another entry here before the end of the power play. Trainer takes it in, looking. In a bit of trouble. Nice job there, not panicking. Able to get over to Zazada, who throws it down low to Strindon. Strindon gets back to it. Now over to Trainer. 1 second left on this power play. Trainer's pass was blocked, and now an opportunity. Good positioning, though, by Seb Zazada. Intercepted that pass. They were trying to spring Peterson for a breakaway.
Yeah, there's that defensive mindset we're starting to get a look from Fargo South-Shanley. Hopefully that'll carry on throughout the rest of the game.
Well, and you notice that time it's Zazada out there, a defenseman out there on the power play instead of the 5-forward look, and that, helps with the positioning, obviously having a true defenseman back there. On the near boards, Lovin comes away with the puck, but only temporarily. Harvey throws him off of it. Now Zazada will give over to Harvey. Harvey plays it with the backhand intended for Bryant. Bryant on top of it now in the neutral zone. Here come the Bruins. Harvey over to Greatser, just a little too far out in front, and this puck will come all the way out, picked up by Martinson. Martinson moving up the near side, fires one that's blocked, and now it's Bryant who has it. Jake Bryant moving in. Harvey went down, so Bryant's going to enter all alone. Greatser trailing behind him. Bryant throwing off the puck. Some scrumming behind the net there, and it's the Firebirds who come away with it. Puck played along, intended for Johnson. Hansen got there first, able to get it past Schwab. Greatser dished out in front, no one home except Rode for the Firebirds. Martinson on the far side, plays it into the Bruins zone. Not much will come of it, though, as South-Shanley is able to get it out right away. Now we got a whistle and a stop in play. I think South-Shanley might have gone off sides there. Oh, no, looks like that puck went out of play, I think, up along the boards.
Yeah, off one of the Devils like defenders, looks like.
Yep, so I'll come back into the Firebird zone. 8:32 remaining in the second period. Shots are 15-10 in favor of the Firebirds. Face-off there, got a whistle, though. False start. Looks like someone was a little
looks like both
too
centers.
far in.
Both centers looks like got kicked out of that draw.
Yeah. So not a lot going right on that face-off for either team, as the Firebirds do come away with it on the second try. Opportunity there. Bushy did a good job working past Morehart, but Morehart not giving up on that play, got back in there and took the puck away. He had kind of been beat, but did an excellent job sticking with it.
What I've noticed from each team is is Devils Lake. They're obviously really fast on the forecheck, but then they're also really fast on the back check, getting back, making a lot of plays. And then I think that's something South needs to improve on. Obviously, they've got speed with those young forwards, those small forwards, and if they can generate that speed on the back check, they'll be able to stop Devils Lake and not allow them to get many more opportunities.
Puck played with a high stick that time, so it comes all the way back down to the Firebird zone. This face-off won by South-Shanley. Quick shot from the point there from Morehart. Saved by Ruley. Along the near boards, Devils Lake trying to get it out. Harvey just could not keep it in, just a hair behind, but he is able to take it back into the zone. Puck intercepted that time by Hill. He got taken down from behind by Harvey, and so we'll have a penalty going against John Harvey here. Looks like holding.
Yep. And I think the problem with running those two lines is your top players, such as Harvey, one of the captains, you can get really tired and then get those lazy penalties and not move your feet as much as you would in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Devils Lake, to their credit, they've really only been rolling two lines for most of this game, and they are looking pretty fresh right now. A big part of that, though, is playing with the lead. You know, when you're up 3-0, that can really help lessen the effects of fatigue. You feel you have a little more energy when you're up big like that. So we're getting our first look at the Devils Lake power play unit here. We've seen them on the penalty kill. We've seen them at 4-on-4, but this is our first look at them with the man advantage.
Yeah, and we know Fargo South-Shanley penalty kill isn't the strongest, not as strong as their power play is. I think if they can maybe get a few block shots, get a few opportunities, they can kill this power play.
So face-off won by the Firebirds. Schwab moving in with it. Had it knocked off his stick by Bryant. Lance went back to retrieve, but he got boxed out. Lovin with the little backhander out in front. Steered aside by Herrick. Reslock worked it over to Peterson. Peterson, the man with it, back behind the net. Peterson throws it out in front to Schwab, whose shot was blocked. Reslock got there, chipped it around. Lance takes it away, though. Lovin on top of it, though, after poking it away from Noah Lance.
I think South may have learned something in the first period. They have Noah Lance in the front of the net, using his body, and also Brody Herrick doing some pushing and shoving, not allowing those forwards to get those easy slot shot and easy slot opportunities.
For sure, good adjustment there for the Bruins as that puck was lost by Devils Lake, and South-Shanley will get a clear. So a nice start to this penalty kill for the Bruins. Not seeing a ton so far from the Firebirds with the man advantage. Let's see, though. They've still got a decent amount of time left, although that's not going to help as that puck is sent back deep into their zone once again. Long pass up to Schwab. He had it knocked back, though, by Bryant. Schwab was trying to find a man on the far side. Bryant got a stick in there, and that's the way you want to kill penalties. You don't even want to let him into your zone to get the clear. You want to tie him up in the neutral zone, and that's what South-Shanley did there. And great work there by Bryant, sacrificing the body. Excellent stick from Noah Lance to keep that one, or excuse me, to knock that one out of the zone, and then a big clear there from Hansen all the way down. You know, for all the struggles South-Shanley has had, you know, on special teams tonight and just overall, this penalty kill has been superb. Really impressed with this.
Yeah, that was a really good penalty kill, only allowing 1 or 2 shots on that power play for Devils Lake. If they can keep that up, generate that more of that defensive mindset like they had in the 5-on-5 type of play, I think they'll be able to get some opportunities.
Well, they say defense leads to offense. Let's see what they can do as Morehart fires one wide. Dean tries to hold the zone, but he could not. Now here come the Firebirds. Martinson tosses one in. Herrick couldn't get to it. Comes all the way out to Bushy, who tried to put it back on net, but it never made it there. Strindon attempting to get it out of the zone, able to work it over to Sandy, who will now give over to Beaton. Tanner Beaton advances this one, throws it on net. Ruley steers it aside. Strindon tried backhand. Puck loose out in front. Sandy couldn't put it in. Beaton centers it, won't go, and then this one's cleared down ice for what should be an icing. A little bit of life now for South-Shanley, Cooper. You know, you often think you need a goal or some sort of offensive you know, spark to get your energy back, but you know, great defense, a great penalty kill can do the trick as well, and I think that might have done it for South-Shanley. Yeah,
like we said, they need to work on that defense side of their game, and I think they've really improved on that since the first period. And as you can see, it's generating generating a lot more offensive opportunities.
Firebirds win the draw, so Reslock has it, trying to move it into the zone. His pass, though, hit his own man, and now Harvey has it. John Harvey will leave it back there for Trainer. Trainer with the backhand plays over to Zazada, who knocks it right back to Trainer. Firebirds tried to cut those passes, could not, though. Nice work there by Zazada and Trainer to play a little keep away, and down come the Bruins back the other way. Greatzer threw a soft one on Ruley. Easy save. Puck comes back out. Hansen thought it might come to him. Instead, Reslock took it. Now Reslock able to work his way around Hansen. He and Zazada will switch off. That puck still loose out in front. And on top of it now is Zazada for South-Shanley.
Yeah, there's Reslock's speed we've seen the whole game. Able to get around Hansen there, but Brody Herrick with good positioning on the side of the net.
Lovin with the backhand, dished out in front. Firebirds pressuring here. Schwab, though, whiffed on the shot from the point, had an opportunity. Reslock went down in front. Up a little slow, but he's moving again now. He'll skate off as Hansen wraps that one around over to Trainer, and now here come the Bruins. Trainer throws one in, and South-Shanley will just go off for the change. Some more line shuffling here is now we've got Sandy, Beaton, and Strinden. Sandy and Strinden often play on a line together. Tanner Beaton, though, a new addition to that line. Be interested to see what they can do together. Zone held there by South-Shanley. This puck will wrap around now and will come all the way back down for an icing.
3-goal lead here for Devils Lake. Obviously, like we've said many of times throughout this game, we got the young core out there with Sandy and Strinden, and then the leader out there with Beaton. Maybe they can get a few opportunities and generate a goal.
Yeah, it's a line with some nice balance. Freshman, sophomore, senior, two really high-end freshmen, and Tanner Beaton, the captain, the senior. Pretty high-end skill guy himself, but also a guy who's been doing it for a long time. Dean over to Morehart. Morehart with the point shot. Strinden out in front. Oh, man. Miles of net wide open there, and Ben Strinden just could not get a clean look at it. He was trying to get one off, but there were a couple sticks in there blocking his path. But, oh, man, he is going to see that wide open net in his dreams tonight, as a great opportunity comes here for the Firebirds. That point shot blocked in front. Cooper, go ahead.
And it looked like he was offhand there. If he would have been a lefty, I think that would have been a lot easier.
Absolutely, but now look at this. Sandy moving in. Oh, man, he just put it wide right.
Adding on to what I was saying earlier, if Sandy would have been a lefty there, I think it would have been an easier shot, definitely an easier shot to shoot on that, and probably generate a goal. Yeah, for sure. That's sometimes what it comes down to, you know. Whether you're a lefty or a righty depends on the angle. Sometimes, just unfortunately, you know, you're a lefty where you should be a righty, and vice versa. As a big-time hit was laid there by Beaton, just sent Rode to the ground, but Rode responds nicely by forcing Strinden out of the zone. South-Shanley going to have to get back on sides as Strinden just throws that one in and will go off for the change. You know, the Bruins don't have a goal here, but what they have done is shown some life. They've really played great offense in the last few minutes of this second period as Ruley gloves that one down. Yeah, and I think they're starting to match the tempo of Devils Lake a little bit, picking up that defensive play. Obviously, Devils Lake defensive play was superb in the first period, which led to their goals. South-Shanley just hasn't had those lucky bounces like Devils Lake has had to go their way.
Shots now 15-15. That should really tell you. You know, South-Shanley was trailing in shots 15-7, I believe, was the biggest margin it got to, and now they're all knotted up. Again, 3-goal deficit, obviously not what you want, but a good recovery here for the Bruins. Let's see if they can hold it, though. 2-on-1. Oh, boy! Did that go in? No signal from the ref. They started celebrating. Oh, boy, Cooper, yeah, I'm with you. That looked
like
into me. Let's see. The refs are going to have a conference about this one. We'll take a look at the replay here. 2-on-1. First of all, great look here for Reslock and Peterson. Oh boy, did we not get that. I don't think we saw enough of that one. I think the camera was just a tish behind. But Cooper, we both kind of looked at each other, you know, the way it bounced out.
Do they have reviews on high school hockey?
I don't think so. They were talking to someone who was behind the net, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can pull a man off the street and see what he says.
It looks like they are talking to someone down in the press box right there.
This will be interesting. I got to be honest. I have no idea if this is like officially. I think
if he
just
calls it a goal, South is going to hate this guy.
well, I mean, it's tough. It looked. I was really close, Cooper. They're talking to someone who was behind the net. They had to look, and they will call it. Boy, Cooper, you know, we got to look there. I do think that's the right call.
Yeah. That
looked, the way it bounced out, too. We're going to get a look at this here now. I think we've got a better look here, maybe slowing it down. And you can, at the end, it doesn't even matter.
Cross the line.
Yep, because it did cross the line. Hats off, wow, to that referee crew for figuring that one out, because in real time, that was very hard to tell. And they did a good job figuring that one out. Obviously without the benefit of replay, so like you said, South-Shanley might not be loving them right now, but it was the right call, so you do got to tip the cap there. Nice work by this crew down on the ice. Also, boy, I just seem to be jinxing South-Shanley left and right tonight. It seems like every time they pick up their play, we start talking about it, and then the Firebirds just respond and silence them. Not much more you can say on the actual goal there. 2-on-1, a great snipe there from Tommy Reslock. Got it in just right below the crossbar, and that really takes the life out of South-Shanley again.
Yeah, and usually when you run two lines like that, you have those negatives of falling apart a little bit, maybe have the other team getting some momentum, but good job there by Devils Lake, not letting that get the best of them and generating a goal.
That really hurts, especially with just a little over a minute left to go in this second period. We'll see what South-Shanley can do, though. Maybe they can get a response. They were so close. They had 2 or 3 just grade A opportunities in the last 5 minutes of this second period. And there's still time left as Beaton wraps around. Beaton going over to Hansen. Hansen fires one. Oh, and it's in. Oh, man. Sandy kept chopping at it like a lumberjack, just kept whacking until finally something fell, and he was able to get that one in. Let's get a look at the replay, because I thought Ruley had that thing covered. You get a look at Beaton, who goes over to Hansen. Hansen takes the shot. Oh, boy, Ruley had it in his glove. It fell out. He got the glove on the rebound shot, but he couldn't, grab it. And then on the third try, Sandy puts it in. Talked about rebound control, and that can apply to the glove too. Ruley could not keep that puck in his glove twice. He lost it out of there, and Sandy, hats off to him, sticking with that play, just kept whacking at it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, whenever there's a puck in front of the net, you want to be that guy to tap it in, and Sandy was the one to do that, and Ruley almost had that. Well, he did have that in his glove, just happened to squirt back out.
Some more opportunities there for South-Shanley right in front of the net. They had a great look that Strinden couldn't put in. Just a few seconds left. They won't get one here. Oh, wait, maybe. Excuse me. Now the horn will sound. I thought they had just 1 second left there. They had a little more time than I thought, but still, huge goal there. You go down 4-0. It kind of started to feel like that might be it, and then to get that goal in the final minute of the second period, giant for South-Shanley. I mean, that keeps you. That's a game-saving goal, it feels like.
Yeah, when you have Reslock with the second goal of the game, you got to find a way to bounce back. Usually you'll think it's your experienced guys, but good for the sophomore Drew Sandy to generate a goal and help his team maybe make a little bit of a comeback.
And really impressive there that the Bruins did not, just kind of roll over. Once you go down 4-0, you had been kind of dominating the last few minutes. All of a sudden, the Firebirds put one in, but just like that, South-Shanley, they stuck with it. They continued that pressure even after giving up a goal. Good way to end the second period. Cooper, it's 4-1, but it's feeling like a pretty tight game right now. The Bruins are popping. Things are starting to heat up. Folks, we're going to take a break for a couple minutes here, but do not go anywhere. I think we're going to have a pretty good finish coming up. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas, along with Cooper Mattern, as we're getting set for the final period of play between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Devils Lake Firebirds. But, folks, before we get back to it, we would like to remind you once again that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so we are back at it for this last period of action. It's a 4-1 lead in favor of Devils Lake. Things were getting a lot tighter towards the end of that second. Devils Lake, though, got that 4-0 lead off the goal from Reslock, his second. Sandy was able to put one in about the final minute there to make it a little closer. And I tell you what, Cooper, South-Shanley, they've got some momentum. It's looking a little tighter right now. It's going to be hard, but certainly not impossible.
Yeah, and I think part of that momentum is the shots. After the first period, the shots were pretty lopsided in favor of Devils Lake. But then getting into the second period, they were able to only be down one shot, 17-16. So if they can keep generating shots, obviously you can't score a goal if you don't shoot.
Absolutely, Cooper. Those shots just a good indicator of the way South-Shanley tightened things up. You know, the scoreboard might not reflect it as much, but it's definitely been a tighter game, I think, than that 4-1 shows. It really just a rough first period for South-Shanley has kind of cost them here. So right off the bat, the Firebirds do have this puck down in the Bruin zone. Reslock back there behind Herrick. Reslock with it, tried to go backhand, a little too much traffic out in front though. Greatzer tries to poke it forward, but now we got a penalty. And we'll see who this is against. Oh, I think
Reslock and Greatzer, I think.
Yeah, I think they're actually going to get Greatzer here.
And
yeah, they're opening both doors. All right. So that's interesting.
I didn't see what.
Yeah, because it looked like, so now to me, it looked like Greatzer got pulled down from behind.
Yeah, and I didn't see what he did afterwards.
Or maybe before. I'm not sure in what order these came. All right, so we'll listen for the announcement here. We'll see what they say. Try to catch that. So we're going to go to 4-on-4, or no? Looks like we've got. All right, so got 5-on-5, but we do have two guys in the box. And to tell you the truth, we're really not quite sure why. So not quite doing our jobs here. We'll try and figure things out. Nonetheless, though, a good thing for South-Shanley to have Reslock out of there. He's got 2 goals already, although it does hurt to not have Greatzer, one of your leading scorers and captains.
Yeah, last time we saw Reslock out, South was able to get a few shots, but they weren't able to produce a lot of key opportunities. So I feel like if they can keep him out of this game and get a few shots, they'll be better. Absolutely.
So, sounds like coincidental minors. We're going to listen what for.
Slashing on Greatzer, it sounded like.
Yeah, and I think they got, I think they got Reslock there for tripping. Or it's both slashing, actually.
Both slashing, yeah.
So, interesting. I mean, yeah, we saw Greatzer go down. I think they might have just been battling at it, headed into the neutral zone there. But it doesn't really matter because we got coincidental minors. Pretty up and down action so far to start off this third period. Moving back between both zones, not really seeing too much from either team. I mean, the Firebirds started off a little hotter, no pun intended. But South-Shanley has come back nicely here. The Bruins, though, I mean, you know, not bad to play them even, but you got to take control at some point because you got to get 3 goals up on the board. So we're going to need to see some real offensive firepower from them.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Devils Lake with a total of 10 seniors and juniors, that'll obviously help them. And then with the young forwards that are coming up for this Fargo South-Shanley program, hopefully they can produce and create some opportunities for Fargo South.
So now we got a whistle, and this puck is headed back into the South-Shanley zone.
I think it was a hand pass on Fargo South-Shanley.
I do too, Cooper. And so Unfortunate for the Bruins as they were possessing there in the Devil's Lake zone. And now the Firebirds are going to have an opportunity here in South-Shanley territory as Sandy is able to poke that one forward. And now he'll throw it down ice for what should be icing. Whistle blown, icing is the call. And both penalties expire there, so Reslock and Greatzer are back. Face-off, one over to Tommy Reslock. He'll curl around now, but leaves that one behind for Peterson. Peterson now trying to pull the same move off. He went down in the corner, though.
Delayed penalty again.
And yes, we do have a penalty going against South-Shanley. It will be tripping going against Seb Zazada. So just like that, another Bruin in the bench. This time, though, no Firebird in the other box to balance things out. So power play opportunity here for Devil's Lake. Interestingly enough, I think arguably the best hockey South-Shanley has played was on their one and only penalty kill of this game. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. I said in the second period, the way they killed that penalty, I think really gave them some new life. So maybe we'll see the same effect here. It'd be tough to do, but it'd be great if they could for them.
Yeah, you never know. A few bounces like we saw for Devil's Lake going for Fargo South-Shanley on this penalty kill. You never know. It could create a goal for them.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose a man, it's always tough, but it does open up a little more ice. And, you know, funny as it may sound, I do love to say this for those of you who have tuned in before, but funny as it sounds, sometimes losing a man can be good for you in some situations if you're a team that really excels with a lot of open ice. Nice clear there. South-Shanley in a tough spot. Herrick was down laying flat on the ground. That puck was loose, and the Bruins were able to poke it forward as now Reslock tips that one into the zone. He's pinned along the boards with Wyatt Hansen. Harvey with the backhand, just able to sneak it out of there. Schwab couldn't hold the zone. Under a minute left to go now on this Devil's Lake power play. Schwab with it in the neutral zone. He moves in. Spins around, going to leave it at the blue line now. Was able to work that one over to Rode, who dumped it in back behind the net to Schwab, leaving it for Peterson. Peterson tried to center, but Lance broke it up. Peterson chases it down on the far side. Backhand leaves it for Reslock. Reslock back behind Brody Herrick. Has that puck knocked away by Hansen, but it's picked up by Schwab. Schwab from a bad angle threw one on Herrick. Saved by Brody Herrick and then cleared by Wyatt Hansen.
We saw a good series of sustained pressure there by Devil's Lake. Maybe they can keep that up, get one more quick rush with about 10-15 seconds left on this power play.
They've certainly got the speed as Reslock was trying to bring that one forward, but it was broken up by Noah Johnson. Finds its way now over to Sanker. Sanker throws one on net, steered aside by Herrick. Reslock plays it with the backhand. Hansen picks it up. Bruins at full strength now as Zazada comes out. That puck thrown along the boards. No one there for South-Shanley, though. Reslock had it caught in his skates and then floated one past the net. If that pass would have been on the stick instead of the skates, I think we'd be looking at a 5-1 game. Puck again thrown out in front. Firebirds couldn't get a clean shot off at it. Schwab has it on the near side. A blast from the point redirected wide.
Looks to me like Fargo South-Shanley might be getting a little fatigued here. They just got to clear the puck out of the zone and hopefully get a line change here or an icing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, off that penalty kill, you got a lot of tired guys out there who are out there killing the penalty, and like you said, now they get the icing and get the change to go along with it. .11:34 left to go in the game. 4-1 in favor of Devil's Lake. South-Shanley, I think we're really going to need to see something from them here. I think if you want a shot in this one, you got to at least have a goal here, I think, before the 5-minute mark. You know, 2 goals in 5 minutes, hard as it may sound, is doable. If you can just get one here before the final 5 of the third period, that can just give you so much more life.
And I think part of that is your goalie play. Brody Herrick, he's really had a good second half, maybe first half of the second period, and then throughout this first half of the third period, he's played pretty well. So I think if they can take that momentum of him having good positioning, get a few good breakouts, get a few good shots, maybe cause a goal.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper, you know, like you said, Herrick really picked up his play here, and we got a penalty right off the bat as Martinson kind of bowled over a Bruin. And so Martinson is going to head to the box, and this might be the opportunity South-Shanley needs.
Yeah, we know their power play is definitely their strength. Maybe not this game, but the previous games. Maybe they can show us what they showed in the previous games and get a few shots.
So, will be a minor for interference. I expect that'll be the call.
It looks like they're mixing up this power play here with Strinden more down low and Zazada with Sandy this time instead of Strinden.
Understandable, Strinden is pretty effective from pretty much anywhere you play him. And Seb Zazada, if you've watched him throughout this game, he's pretty lethal with that point shot. He was a forward last year that plays defense now, and he's really done a good job incorporating that offensive game into his defensive play. Strinden comes away with the puck off the board battle. Tried to work it over to Greatzer, but Greatzer couldn't get his stick on it. This one going to squirt up the boards along to Sandy. Sandy from the point. That one I think might have gone off the mask of Ruley.
And I think if Sandy keeps that shot low, it'll go for a good tip opportunity for Robbie Greatzer in front of the net.
South-Shanley doing a great job keeping the pressure on here. Not even letting the Firebirds really touch this puck. Greatzer with it. Throws one on just wide. Trainer going to try to chase it down. Peterson gets there first, though, and gets the clear. Big time clear there for the Firebirds as Herrick will now play it forward into a bad situation, though. Peterson works it along. Now Greatzer mashes Reslock into the boards. Oh, boy.
Good hit there by Greatzer.
Yeah, wow, Reslock went down hard there. But even still, this is not where you want to be up a man. Reslock is doing a great job pinning that puck along the boards. As now South-Shanley cannot get this one out of the neutral zone. Glove down by Hill.
Hill's really having a good game, really playing with a lot of speed, and obviously we saw that hard shot from him, which generated a goal.
Yeah, honestly, if it didn't list his grade, if it didn't list him as 9th grade on this roster, I would not think he was. He plays with so much poise. It's not even just that cannon of a point shot he's got. It's just the way he processes the game, the decision-making. Really wise beyond his years. Zazada from the point, glove down by Ruley. And, Ruley really, I don't know if he's gotten enough credit here in this game. We've talked a lot. Obviously, Devils Lake offense has been great. The defense with Hill has been great. But Ruley has just had a really solid night. Only 1 goal out on 20 shots so far. And that glove has looked fantastic. He really likes to use it, and you can see why, because he's lights out with it.
Yeah, and I think part of that is South not getting enough bodies in front of the net. Like we mentioned in the first and second periods, they don't get their big guys in front of the net. Devils Lake is able to clear them out, which opens up a lot of room for Ruley to see the puck and absorb it into his glove or into his body.
So time running out. Great opportunity, though, for Bryant. He was boxed out by Hill. Hill got a stick in there and didn't allow Bryant to set up. A little over 9 minutes left to go now. That hurts for South-Shanley, unable to capitalize on that power play. They can maybe still do something here as Moorhart tried to pick that one up, but now it's going to come out of the zone, and now there's a 2-on-2 look here for the Firebirds. Along the far side, look at this. Shot won't go. It was the captain that time. Lovin put one in on Herrick. Not a lot of room to work with by the time he got around the defenseman. Just kind of had to fire one there point blank.
I think Devils Lake's really done a good job this game of when they've gotten rushes, they've gotten good quality shots. They haven't got a lot of rushes consecutively, but when they have gotten rushes, they've gotten low shots, generated a lot of rebounds today.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier, they've just been very opportunistic really all night. They haven't gotten a ton of opportunities. They've obviously done well. They've had a lot of offense going, but they haven't had a ton of grade A looks, but when they get them, they capitalize. Johnson able to get that puck over to Strinden, now to Sandy in the corner. Sandy takes a hit, able to get it over to Strinden out in front, but that puck will come right back to Sandy, who gives it to Strinden behind the net. Ben Strinden goes out top now to Hansen. Hansen thought about it, mishandled it though, tries to work it back to Strinden. Hill gets tied up with Strinden though and takes him out of the play. Johnson chasing it down. That puck will come over to Zazada. He holds the zone. Point shot blocked in front. Now here comes Schwab with it. Schwab able to work his way around Johnson. Now a 3-on-2, but an offsides will negate that rush.
Good block there by Carter Schwab, getting his body in front of that puck. Doesn't matter what lead you have, 3-goal lead, 2-goal lead, 1-goal lead. If it's a tie game, you always gotta do it for your goalie and get your body in front of the puck.
So neutral zone face-off now between Trainer and Peterson. Trainer wins that one over to Harvey, who gets it back to Morehart, and now the Bruins will look to bring it forward. Greatzer with a great play off the boards to get it over to Harvey. Harvey cuts back, trying to work his way around Lovin, but that one's knocked away. Loose puck up in the air for a while there, and now it's going to come out of the zone, but only briefly as it's put right back in by Lance.
Oh boy.
Greatzer takes it away. Great opportunity, but excellent work with the stick there for Reagan Ruley. He broke up the pass, and now we got a shattered stick out in front of Ruley, and the puck's coming back the other way. Nice feed there from Lovin, just a bit behind that time. Now here's Beaton. Oh, man. He was wide open. There was not a man for miles, but the pass was a little hard. Beaton couldn't get it under control, and that'll really cost the Bruins there. They're going to be thinking about that one when this game's done.
Yeah, Reslock coming on the back check there, but there was still a lot of room between him and Beaton. Beaton with his speed, he would have been able to get a good quality shot on that breakaway.
Tough one, but they're going to have to move on here. Just 6:39 left. They still need 3 goals. Zazada collects behind the South-Shanley net. Plays it over to Beaton, who now flips it up in the air over to Sandy. Sandy couldn't bring it forward. It was taken away there by Bushy. Bushy now on the near side. Will throw it back behind Herrick. That puck played off the boards, picked up by Bushy, able to work it past Sandy over to Hill. Hill had that one taken away. Here we go. Sandy moving in, has a man to his left. It was Beaton, and oh man, that puck bounced around and found its way right into the glove of Reagan Ruley.
Hill with that turnover there, but obviously with his young mind, like we've seen throughout the game, good back check there, being able to get, almost got an own goal, but still with that back check it paid off and was able to not get that pass through.
And Ruley there finishes it off, scoops it up off the ground. Excellent back check there. You talked about it also from Carter Schwab, got in there and took away the lane. Just excellent work there by Devil's Lake. Bend but don't break. They gave a good look there to South-Shanley, but then took it away right at the end there. And even 6 minutes now left in the third period. The Bruins' opportunities have been ever increasing, but they just have not been able to capitalize at all, save for that one goal at the end of the second. Trainer with it now. Great look, tried to feed it out in front. Puck still loose, tried to jam it in. Oh, man! The Bruins are trying everything right now as this point shot won't go. Now we got a man down, and it is Hill Cooper, and he is down right now, not moving very much. I think they're going to bring the Trainer out here. Boy, Hill
looked like him and Greatzer maybe in front of the net going at it.
Well, we can see it right here, and that cuts off just short, but you saw Greatzer was right there. Hill now is up and talking to the referee. Trainer walking out. Made it halfway, and I think she'll just turn around as Hill's up and skating. And Hill is actually going to head back to the dressing room. He looked a little mad about that hit. I'm not, I shouldn't say that. I'm not sure if he's mad if, some guys get frustrated if they're maybe hurt. Obviously frustrated about that, but the way he was talking to the ref, I think he was a little upset with the hit. Oh, boy!
Out of nowhere.
Off the face-off. Strindon tips it in. Like you said, Cooper, out of nowhere.
Looks like Sandy went between the center's legs and fed it to Strindon.
Oh, what a beauty. Sandy, like you said, between the legs, the dish over to Strindon. Perfectly drawn up. I mean, that's got to be a set play right off the face-off. Try and get that to go. I mean, just wow.
Actually, I remember last year playing with Sandy and Strindon in our Bantamere. We actually tried running that play and it would never work. So kind of cool to see it work in this game.
For sure. I mean, not a lot of margin for error. They were playing it right in front of the net, but when it works, it's a beauty. Strindon now with it. South-Shanley with some life, putting the pressure right back on. Sandy tried to get it over to Beaton there, but it was broken up, and now it's going to come out of the zone as Reslock brings it forward. Reslock trying to work his way around Morehart. Morehart stays on top of it and able to break up that pass intended for Peterson. Cooper, what did I say? If you could get one goal before the 5-minute mark, you might have some life, and they snuck that one in just a few seconds before, as now we do dip below the 5-minute mark, and South-Shanley trails only by 2.
And like we said, Jed, 2-goal lead, scariest lead in hockey. You never know. If Devil's Lake notches another one, it's a 3-goal lead. If South-Shanley gets another one, we got ourselves a very tight hockey game.
Absolutely. Wyatt Hansen tracks this puck down now, and he'll leave it over to Zazada. Zazada moving up the far side. Nice little pass there from Beaton. Feeds Harvey. Harvey moving in all alone. He'll go back, wait for a man to catch up. Beaton got in there. Harvey trying to hold the zone. No support there for him, though, and that puck will come out. Harvey tried to get back to it. Not quite there in time, though. White was there first. Now the Firebirds trying to get out of the neutral zone and into the South-Shanley territory, but the Bruins just a step ahead of them right now. They're really feeling it.
Yeah, they are playing with a lot of speed right now, something that Devils Lake isn't able to match. If they can keep getting these breakouts, keep this momentum up, it could cause for some good opportunities.
Hansen wrapped it around the boards there. It does come out of the zone, but Zazada will fire it right back in. Harvey's still out there with some very tired legs, I have to imagine. Been on the shift for a while, as Greatzer lays a big hit into Sanker on the far boards. Puck loose in the neutral zone, finally makes its way into the Bruins zone. Opportunity now. In comes Schwab, but that puck will find its way over to Greatzer, who chips it forward for Bryant. Bryant thrown into the boards. Puck now collected by DeVere back in his own zone. No sign of Hill. DeVere getting his first minutes right now as that puck goes off the skates of Bryant. It's going to be picked up, though, by Strinden. Strinden, man, worked his way through about 3 Firebirds as now there's a delayed penalty. Zazada from the point, and it's saved by Ruley. But now the Bruins will be on the man advantage with 3:12 left to go, down 2 scores.
Throughout the season, we've seen their power play really be a strength for them. Maybe not so much tonight, but I think this will be a great time for them to capitalize, get a lot of low shots from the point.
Well, Austin DeVere playing his first minutes of the game here as Hill has been out with an injury so far. DeVere checks in at maybe the worst possible time he could get thrown in as South-Shanley is playing their best offensive hockey of the night, and DeVere is the man who takes the penalty rather, so that's a tough break for him as now we got a timeout taken by South-Shanley. Not a huge surprise here, Cooper. Coach French likely drawing up what he wants him to do here on this power play.
Yeah, if you can get a good face-off, win it back to the point, maybe do the face-off that they just scored a goal on. You never know what Coach French has got up his sleeve, and get a few shots, get a few rebounds. I mean, we haven't seen Ruley give a lot of rebounds up, but you never know when it comes down to the final couple minutes. If a few bounces go Fargo South-Shanley ways, you never know. We could have a 1-goal game.
Absolutely, Cooper. And like you said, Ruley's been pretty good, but he has had a couple slip-ups. That first goal was in and out of his glove a couple times before Sandy buried it. And we'll see here what South-Shanley tries. We saw him make that little play right off the face-off there to get this last goal. We'll see if they try something like that. I'm guessing we'll see if they can win this face-off. We'll probably see some sort of design play drawn up.
It's going to be interesting to see who they put back at the point. It'll be Strinden or Zazada. I bet the opposite one will be down low near the hash mark, so we'll see if they put, looks like Strinden maybe up top as of now. Zazada's not out there, so it looks like Strinden and Sandy are going to man the point for this power play.
Yeah, they're going to go back to that formula they've been working with most of the season. And you can see why, it's worked most of the year. Stick with what they know. So 3:12 left to go, 2 minutes of that will be spent on the power play, unless, of course, they get a goal before that happens, as that puck is deflected up into the air and into the glove of Ruley.
I think a key for this power play is just shots. If you can get shots, get a lot of opportunities for some rebounds, a lot of opportunities for some backdoor goals from the points, anything you can do to generate some opportunities for your team to cut this deficit.
Absolutely. Got to take what Devils Lake will give you, which is not going to be much, so you're going to have to capitalize when that comes. As that shot from the point hit Harvey instead of its intended target, being, of course, Reagan Ruley. Harvey tried to get out of the way, but he took a shot high up into the rib cage area, and you see him try to shake that one off. Not a ton of padding where that hit him. I think it hit him just below the chest protection there, but Harvey able to shake that one off. Greatzer in chasing after that puck. Ruley came out to challenge him and played it around in the corner. That puck will work its way out of the zone, chased down by Reslock and Strinden. Strinden played it up the boards over to Sandy. A big collision there back in the South-Shanley zone with Strinden and Reslock. Here come the Bruins, though, with 1:10 left to go as Greatzer takes a shot in the corner. Another shot on net, I think may have hit Harvey again. Strinden now over to Sandy on the near side. Sandy, excellent pass, elevating it over to Trainer. Now
Sandy
to
back door.
Harvey. Oh, man. You were right, Sandy, wide open back door. Harvey had an opportunity, but it was very nicely played by Riley Road.
Yeah, if that puck doesn't hit a Devils Lake defender's stick, I feel like Sandy's got a good chance for a goal there.
So Strinden collects behind his own net. Gives over to Sandy. Sandy's pass cut, intended for Greatzer. Going to be brought into the zone now by Schwab, who fires one. Schwab shot blocked, but he's happy to just burn some clock there. Sandy over to Greatzer. Greatzer can't quite get under control.
Man. That was a
Yikes.
cheap shot.
Well, we'll see. He took an elbow, I think is what they're going to call against Reslock. He took
third penalty of the game for Reslock now.
Reslock, physical player. Him and Greatzer both actually very physical players. As Robbie Greatzer is up and moving now. The tough part about that is, it was a little high, and I don't think that was intentional at all. You know, Reslock came flying in. Your natural inclination is to put your arms up, and he does connect with the elbow to the head. Tough part about that, though, is he gets hit in the head and then into the stanchion, which is just not where you want to take the hit. So it looks like we're going to have a 5-on-3 and a pulled goalie, which is going to make it 6-on-3 for 22 seconds. This should be a fun 22 seconds, Cooper.
I don't think I've ever seen this
Yeah,
yet.
this is a 6-on-3. You don't see it too often. This is going to be really big for South-Shanley. Obviously, you understand the move. You're down 2 scores with 1:34 left. Should be on the man advantage for the rest of this, even if they just call a minor. I'm assuming they're discussing what to call this, but I don't know if it really is going to. I suppose if we do go to overtime, it will matter, whether that's 2 or 5.
Yep.
And I think he might actually be getting the boots.
No way.
Reslock skating back, and I think he might be done. Because I can't imagine.
Yeah, they're kicking him out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Your leading scorer, a great player, Reslock, again. I really don't think that one was intentional. You know, he ended up hitting high on Greatzer there. Like I said, don't think it was intentional. That's a tough break for Devils Lake. Tough break for Reslock as his night's done. And the man serving his penalty will be Quentin Stubby. So we've still got some conferencing going on as the referees are explaining this one to Craig Peterson. 2 men in the box. It's a 5-minute major, of course, and a game misconduct on Reslock. So the rest of this game for South-Shanley will be played with the man advantage, and they'll have a 6-on-3, 5-on-3 for the next 22 seconds. The pull goalie will make it 6-on-3, and I think that's everything. I think we can maybe finally play some hockey.
It looks to me like Reslock doesn't want to leave. You can see him at the bottom part of your screen.
Well, hey, who would want to miss this 6-on-3,
Yeah.
Cooper? Even Reslock wants to catch this one from the tunnel. Someone tell him he can turn the Shanley TV in the locker room. All right.
I don't even know how they're going to set this up down here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So now, just waiting. Still, referees are still conferencing. I think they finally got this one figured out.
Play 4 corners with 2 guys in front of the net.
That might be, Cooper, what they end up doing. Again, they're only going to have 22 seconds with the 3-man advantage, but after that, with the goalie pulled, it'll still be a 2-man. So now Beaton collects the puck in the corner, but only briefly as Hill is back in the game. That's good to see for Devils Lake. Firebirds can't get the clear. 10 seconds left. The shot from Strinden. Oh, man, Ruley with the glove. It was in there and out, but it ultimately is a save for Ruley. That was shaky.
Yeah, good shot there. Good low shot by Ben Strinden. When you got a 3-man advantage, you want to try to get those low shots to help let the other 5 guys crash the net.
Ruley able to make the save there, keep it in the gloves. Now we're back at it. Time winding down. So the Firebirds get a man out of the box. Now we're at 6-on-4 with the pulled goalie, and the penalty is Strinden couldn't hold the zone. Got to be careful now. Great move. Oh, Strinden making moves, cutting in now, but he loses control. Root on top of that one. He loses a stick, though. Now the puck tied up on the far boards. Great work over there by DeVere, just keeping that puck tied up. Root in there as well with DeVere, trying to burn some clock as Strinden will throw it up along the glass over to Beaton in the corner. A little over 40 seconds left. Trainer out top. Over to Strinden, now over to Sandy. Got to get a quick shot here because you need to. That shot saved. The rebound opportunity won't go. Root in the corner. Time really winding down now. Just 30 seconds left to get to. 6-on-4 here. That will be how it stays the rest of the game. Trainer now will hand off over to Beaton. Beaton out top to Strinden. Got to start taking shots. Strinden shot blocked by DeVere, but he's able to keep it in. Hansen had a look. Now Sandy, his shot's blocked. This could be it. Chasing it down. Peterson trying to work it over to DeVere. Strinden will get in there to try to break it up. Look at that, Ben Strinden going to play a little goalie, but it won't matter because time expires and the Firebirds survive a pretty crazy finish. They walk away with the 4-2 win. Cooper, what a crazy finish. What a crazy game. I mean, Devils Lake took the 3-0 lead early on. They made it 4-0. South-Shanley comes fighting back 4-1, then 4-2. They get the 6-on-3, but at the end, the Firebirds, they're able to walk away with this win.
Yeah, 2 unanswered goals by Fargo South-Shanley. They did have momentum there for quite a bit of the second and third period, but they just weren't able to get those next 2 goals, notch those next 2 goals under the goal column, and complete the full comeback.
And, Cooper, this one really hurts for South-Shanley, not only because of how big it was in the standings, but also they had so many opportunities, so many times when just a bounce or two going the other way could have gotten that extra goal. Really, a lot of goals left out there for the Bruins, which hurts for them. But at the end of the day, Devils Lake played a really strong game, especially Reagan Ruley. Obviously, the offense was clicking with those 4 goals, but Ruley really held up there in the end when he needed to. Yeah,
I like Ruley's play. I also like Devils Lake speed. They had good speed throughout the whole game, which generated a lot of opportunities, even with their star player getting 3 penalties, then eventually getting ejected towards the end of the game. I guess it didn't really matter by then, but still, they played with good speed, which I think gave Ruley a lot of momentum and helped them out throughout the game.
At the end of the day, though, yeah, Devils Lake, all those things put together, they're able to put together that 4-2 win. Shots did end up being 27-21 in favor of South-Shanley. So that is something to note. That little flurry at the end definitely helped that out. Like I said, though, Devils Lake does walk away with the win, 4-2, and a huge win in the standings. Folks, for tonight, for Cooper Mattern and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Scheels Arena: South-Shanley Bruins, 4, Devils Lake Firebirds 2. That is wrong. Devils Lake Firebirds 4, South-Shanley Bruins 2. All right, to watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV. Thanks for tuning in.